Hi all, welcome back to C++ tutorial on Fulcrum. This session is on the unary operator overloading as a friend function. In the previous sessions, we have discussed in detail what operator overloading is and what is the importance of overloading an operator. Let's quickly recollect the rules for overloading an operator. So if you are overloading a unary operator as a member function of the class, then there should not be any argument. Overloading a unary operator as a friend function of the class, which we'll be doing in this session. So the functions of such kind should take one argument. If you're overloading a binary operator as a member function of the class, there should be one argument, and overloading a binary operator as a friend function of the class, there should be two arguments to the operator overloaded function. So let's start implementing. So what are we trying to do here? We are trying to overload a unary operator as a friend function of the class. So let's take the same example what we have done in the previous session. Let's take the pre-increment operator as a example. So we will be overloading the pre-increment operator as a friend function of the class. So let's get started. Let's create a class. Let's call it as Fulcrum. Now let's add the data members to the class. So let me keep an integer entity A as a data member and let this be private. So I have not specified the access specifier here. So by default the access specifier will be private. Now let me add few public members to my class. So let me include a constructor. So the constructor, as you know, should have the same name as that of the class. Now I am going to add here a default constructor, means it's not going to take any argument. And what is the aim of the constructor? To initialize the data member. So let me initialize my data member A with a value of 10. Next, I'm going to add a display function for displaying the value of the data member. So let me add a display function here. So let me use a cout statement to print the value of A. Okay, now we are going to add the operator overloaded function. So since we are implementing the same as a friend function, so recollect what was a friend function and how we have to implement the same. So what was a friend function? A friend function is a non-member function of the class which has the privilege to access the private and protected members of the class. And how do you write the same? What is the syntax for that? The declaration of the friend function should be done within the class using the keyword friend, and the definition should be provided outside of the class. So let's first give the declaration of the operator overloaded function here within the class using the keyword friend. So friend, if you have any return type for the function, specify this here. So let me keep the return value as Fulcrum because I am intending to return the object here. Then the function name, so that is operator followed by the symbol of the operator that you're trying to overload. So here, as you know, it's the pre-increment operator. And then since this is a friend function, as per the rule, we have to include an argument to this function. So what will be the argument? We'll keep it as the class object. We'll come to that in detail very soon. So now let me just specify the declaration here. I'm going to take this as a reference. So it's the declarative statement, so I can finish it off here. Now let's define our friend function. So I'll remove the keyword friend and keep the remaining entities. So the return type is tut fulcrum. Function name is operator followed by the symbol, and the argument is the reference object. Now what is this function doing? It's incrementing the data member value. So how do you access the member of a class? You could do the same only through the object. So how will you write that statement? You could say plus plus obj dot a. This will increment the value of a. And now let me return my object. So we are done with the definition of the friend function. Now let's invoke the functions within the main. So first I need to create an object to my class tut fulcrum. So let me call it as capital T. So as you know, the moment you create an object to the class, it invokes the constructor. So here we have added a default constructor. So it is initializing the value of a as 10. So after creating the object, let me invoke the display function with respect to my object T. So what will be the output for this statement? It will give your output as a equal to 10. Now let's come to invoking the operator overloaded function. So as discussed in the previous session, overloading the operator using the member function. The invocation part is the same here. You just have to use the operator along with your object. So this statement invokes the operator overloaded function. So when you invoke this function, what is happening here? This object, that's T here, it is received by the reference object obj. So with respect to T, we have seen that the value of data member A is 10. So when you increment the same, what will be the value of A now? A gets incremented to 11. So after performing this operation, if you invoke the display function, if you do T dot display, what will be your expected output here? You will get A equal to 11. So T dot display. You are expected to get the incremented value of your data member. So let's run the code and verify our output. So we are getting the expected output here, A equal to 10, which was the initial value. So after creating the object, we invoke the display function. So at that time, A is equal to 10. Now we are incrementing the value of T. Plus T will invoke the operator overloaded function. So after performing this operation, if you invoke the display function with respect to T, your A value is incremented and it is displayed as A equal to 11. So this is how you work with overloading a unary operator as a friend function of the class. You could try out with other unary operators as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe. And please don't forget to tap the bell icon. You'll get notified whenever we upload a new videos. Thank you.